I love your general framework, and that is that the option to digitize is no longer an option at this point. We're entering an environment where it's a necessity.
Absolutely. I mean, we knew digital transformation was already going for a few years, but with a global pandemic, what we now enter is what I call the new age of insight, which means you got to digitize everything in your company. And that's where it's no longer an option. It's a strategic imperative for every customer.
So I wonder if you'd walk us through what you're seeing in terms of that structural change in demand. But I'm also fascinated by gross margins, operating margins that are at this point above pre-pandemic levels. How does that happen? I mean, was there a massive cost reset once the pandemic began?
Well, our Q1 was marked by very strong profitability and what I call record-breaking free cash flow. And this was driven by the focus on cost management, but most importantly, focus on the areas of growth that we want to drive going forward. And so a combination of improved demand because we saw strong linearity throughout the quarter in all our businesses, where the Intelligent Edge, which is our future growth engine, did extremely well. It was impressive to see that 11% year-over-year growth. It was what drove those results. And we ended ahead of the pre-pandemic level on a non-GAAP EPS and overall profitability. And also we improved free cash flow $750 million from the prior year. Overall, I think this is a very solid start to fiscal year 21. But what I'm really encouraged about is what I see for the rest of the year, because we have a unique set of products and value proposition which are resonating with customers, particularly as we go through this remote working with connectivity, the need to extract data insights from the data all around us, and the fact you got to deploy cloud everywhere for all your apps and data wherever they live.
Antonio, it's your turn. I'm wondering how you're viewing your recent move of the headquarters to Texas and whether you've had any fresh concerns, especially as to whether the energy grid failure was an isolated incident or any concerns around the recent decision by the governor to open everything up again.
Well, we made that decision last quarter. We announced it with the previous, Q4 earnings release. We had no impact at all on that energy disruption. Remember, we already went through a very detailed analysis before we started building this new campus, which, was the outcome of the previous floods. But we feel very, very good about where we are in that location and the fact that we have very good infrastructure throughout the Texas location we are in. Obviously, they had some disruption to some families, and obviously we stepped in to help them. As with regards, what we saw yesterday about the phase mandates, we stand with our policy, which is to protect the safety of our employees, which means we're going to continue to practice our social distancing and the mandate to wear masks once we reopen the offices, because right now, all our offices are still closed.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.